Greetings, YouTubers. Now, this posting has been a long time coming. It's long overdue. But this subject, sovereignty, is different from any other that I've experienced in this field of knowledge and self-realization. And something about it makes me feel it's quite right. Do you ever get that feeling that the more you look into something, the more complicated it becomes? Rabbit holes become rabbit warrens, whole rabbit cities with a lifetime's worth of information and study, with threads leading off in all directions and often appearing to contradict one another. Well, do you want to know what I think? I think when things get a little too much on the battlefield, a general has the opportunity to sit back, put his feet up, pour a brandy or a cup of sovereign tea, and take the time to get some perspective. I'm reminded of David Icke's view that we are creating our reality as we go along. And if that's true, could it be that our own confusion about our personal power, our identity, and standing in this modern, complicated machine of a society is simply being reflected back on us as we seek meaningful form and purpose in the shadows and mists of our time? Time to sit back, take the long view, think about where all this is coming from. It's time to think again about ourselves. Who are you, watching this now? And what are you, for that matter? What is it inside you, doing the thinking, making the judgments, plotting the course through these waters? Some might say that it's just you, the inseparable flesh and consciousness. Some might say that you're an internal spirit soul, inhabiting a particular earthly form for the time being. And some might say we are the imagination of ourselves, holographic fragments of the whole, exploring the joys of the subjective experience. In my view, we're lucky souls who get a chance to experience a world in which we can learn and grow, each of us equally capable of any imaginable achievement through the application of truth, courage, faith, and above all, love. We who have somehow forgotten our divine origin and lacking the faith in ourselves to do what's right, somehow feeling undeserving of the love that we all desire in our lives, we condemn ourselves to accept the spiritual equivalent of a prisoner's ration of dry bread and dirty water, while making compensation for our spiritual poverty by clutching at the illusion of possessions like a poorly fitting prosthetic. But from my observations, we do not start off in life that way. We need to be taught. There are still plenty of children around the world who would have a hard time convincing they were anything less than the living breath of the universe and God's greatest pleasure. Stick them in front of a TV, and they might as well have bitten a chunk off Adam's apple. Now, in this last generation, we've seen something that's never before happened on this planet. When I was a bit younger, there were plenty of undiscovered tribes out there, blissfully unaware of the poison of the mind called progress. But they'll all have an icon on Google Earth before long. At the same time, we see the emergence of world government seeking to create a world of spiritually impoverished, blindly obedient, microchipped servants. And what's the bait?